What's going on, everybody? Jeremy with Detroit Tech. I'm on a mission to find the best mouse for first-person shooters. I was originally playing with the G5, then the 502, and then the Lightspeed version, and then moved to the Corsair M65, and then discovered really how great the lightweight mice whole category is. We did a video of the XTRFY M4 a little while ago. Of course, you can check that out right over here. It's really an amazing mouse, but it's kind of right on the edge of being like too big for my medium small hands. So over the next little while, like next few months, we'll be taking a look at lightweight gaming mice that are good for, medium to small hands and see which one Corey and I eventually get to fight over. Quick note, of course, we did buy the Model O- that we're talking about with our own money, and our opinions are our own, my own, whatever. I'll put links in the description below if you think this is the mouse for you and really want to help support the channel. So of course, we're looking at the Model O- from Glorious. Starting on the outside, the packaging is great. It's really honestly great attention to detail. I mean, it even says Ascend, and then when you lift off the box, it says Ascended. I really like it. There's, more paperwork here than I'm used to with a lot of mice, but the stickers are pretty awesome. Got the dude with the flowing locks and everything. And like the XTRFY M4, the quick start guide is actually like surprisingly useful. Tells you, what the baked in DPI settings are, and even gives directions on changing the RGB lights, and as they go as far as telling me even like what the effect is, not just it changes it. Plug and play basically with no software is really, really good. To top it off, the RGB looks really, really good on this mouse, especially since we got the white version, kind of on accident, but that's fine. No real hotspots for the lights, and the glow around the inside is really, really awesome. I know I make fun of like RGB and having unicorn vomit everywhere, but I mean, it never really hurt anybody. Plus I, make it red when I play, so I kill people faster. Build quality is mostly good. If I shake it really hard, there is like a slight little rattle, but I've never heard that while gaming because I've never shaken it that hard. There is some flex on the sides of the mouse if you squeeze, again, really hard, and you can activate the back button by just squeezing the PCMR guy's face. There's no honeycomb cutouts on the side grips, but you do get it kind of creeping into the left and right mouse buttons like a lot of other lightweight mice. There is some flex on the top housing as well. I can push right where the palm rest meets the top buttons and get a little bit of flex. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I can't really fault them either. You can't like just use a bunch of thicker plastic because it gains weight when you're trying to keep the weight down. Plus, unless you use your mouse in a way that I've never seen anybody use their mouse before, it won't affect your play at all. So yeah, mostly good build. The drawbacks are pretty minor as they are very nitpicky and don't really affect like day-to-day usage of the mouse. The feet on the bottom are PTFE and glide phenomenally well, like just super smooth. Currently, I'm using the Corsair extended mouse pad for my FPS gaming, and it's a soft mouse pad and the feet don't really basically have any drag on it at all. Packaging I mentioned earlier seems to have fixed the issues people have had in the past with the Model O cable essentially just like breaking after a week and not letting them actually stay connected to the computer. That's nice to see them make that change and, fix an issue. This cable is really, really lightweight, has a pretty loose weave around it. It's like super flexible, doesn't get caught on any of like the whole mess of crap I have on my desk. So that's, always a plus. It almost feels like a wireless mouse. The cable is just so freaking light. The switches are Omron mechanical switches rated at 20 million clicks. They're nice and clicky with good feedback. There's a bit of pre-travel before the click and actually quite a bit of post-travel after the click as well. It's not like huge, but it can be noticeable, especially if you're using the FAL or some other like fast firing semi-automatic weapon in Modern Warfare. It does slow down how quickly you can fight. And maybe you're good enough where you like don't need to shoot super quickly because you just like headshot them immediately. And I'm like really happy for you, but I'm a filthy casual, so let me watch. The wheel has satisfying feedback with good detents in it. It's almost silent, so your roommate won't like hear you while you're just like in a hole, Reddit hole, at 2 a.m. just scrolling and scrolling. I mean, we know what you're looking for. Spicy PCMR memes. Anyway, take a listen. It's really nice. I think I should start an ASMR channel of just keyboard and mouse. Thoughts? Let me Let me know how bad an idea that actually would be in the comments right below that sub button. All right, on to fit. The mouse is 63 millimeters at its widest, 58 millimeters at its narrowest. It's 126 millimeters long, 36 at its tallest, and 24 at its shortest. It's ambidextrous, which of course is nice for all of you lefties. Now that I'm finally getting serious about finding the right mouse and not just going with whatever like G502 version Logitech has out, I actually measured my hand. So it's 11.5 centimeters by 18 centimeters. That's not true. It's 11.5 centimeters by 18 centimeters, which puts me on the large side for width and medium almost small on length. So basically because I'm a freak. And after analyzing my grip, I've realized I use kind of a modified palm claw kind of grip. I don't quite lay my fingers all the way down like a traditional palm grip, and I don't bend my fingers quite as much as like the traditional claw grip. But I do like to have quite a bit of the bottom of my palm in solid contact with the mouse, which kind of leans me towards that palm grip. As you can see, the slope down towards the back starts pretty far forward to the middle, and it's pretty shallow. And for me personally, it's just doesn't quite fit right. And I think that's why I love the 502 so much, why it's so comfortable for me. It fits like really securely right into my palm. Now that being said, the Model O- isn't uncomfortable, just like less comfortable than it could be. But at a paltry 58 grams and with the 3360 Pixart sensor packed into this little body, man, this thing performs. The shape made it take a little bit of time for me to really get used to, but it performs super, super well. It gets me on center mass nice and quickly, and it's so light, it just kind of stops where I need it, like right where I need it to go. I think it would be a bit much for me to put on like a hard mouse pad. It's just so fast. For me, at least, even on like 800 DPI that I play at. Once I made the jump to lightweight mice, instead of, pushing that 120 grams, as long as they have a decently nice sensor, they really just kind of all perform a little bit similarly. It just ends up being about like fit and grip style. And I mean, maybe aesthetics, lots of aesthetics. And while it is plug and play, they do have software to help customize things even a little bit further. You can save 3 different profiles and control, DPI and lighting from the software, even going as far as to adjust both the X and the Y sensitivity for every DPI setting. One thing I don't like, but I understand, is the LED light that tells you what DPI setting you're in is on the bottom of the mouse. So there's no real like adjusting it on the fly. But on the bright side, you can change what color is set for each DPI setting. I mean, cool. It's not really necessary at all by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know, it's a feature. And with pricing on Glorious's website at $49.99, it's a pretty good deal. We ended up overpaying a little bit on Amazon because quarantine, but this is a really, really good mouse. The sensor is, it's a Pixart 3360, and the build is pretty good and it looks great. I'm not sure it will actually replace the Xtrfy M4. Don't know yet. It is lighter, but I think because I have, wide hands compared to the length, I might find a better fit with something maybe a little bit wider, or maybe even just an ergo mouse. But if you like the ambidextrous design, maybe you favor a claw or like a fingertip grip, and you don't mind ascending to the PCMR, this will be a really great mouse for you. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you ascend, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We have more lightweight mice reviews coming. Let us know in the comments below what other mice we should check out, and we'll catch you in the next video.
And it goes like